Hi there viewers, and welcome to the Repair It, Don't Wreck It channel. Today I'm working on the big Air King exhaust fan. It moves 50 CFM at 2.5 zones. This thing should be in the fan Hall of Fame or the garbage. I'm going to replace it with the Panasonic Whisper Quiet fan. It has a zone rating of 0.30 or less. It moves between 130 or 150 CFM based on what you have it set for. You're going to get a cardboard template, a Z-bracket, grill, set of instructions, and of course the star of the show, the fan. Before you forget, remove the tape that holds the damper and package of 4 screws. Even though this fan comes equipped with the damper, I'm going to remove it and install a FanTech damper. This is the model RSK6. It is very well made and does a great job of stopping backdrafts. You need to remove this machine screw and electrical connector before removing the adapter. You can't see, but there's 2 tabs that you need to squeeze and separate the connector from the fan housing. Now you can slide the adapter off the fan. Most of the job will be hard to see, so I'm going to show you on the floor the pieces that make up the exhaust system, starting with a piece of 6-inch round pipe. It is a little bit too large at the male end. You can use a pair of needle nose pliers to crimp it, or use a set of crimpers specifically designed to do this. The fan vent terminal will still not go on all the way. I'm not too concerned. Even if it only goes on halfway, I can use aluminum tape to seal it up perfectly. This is the exterior fan vent terminal that will go through the brick from the outside of the house. Then, an intermediate 6-inch piece of pipe that connects to the FanTech damper. Then, the damper will connect to the adapter, which is also 6-inch. I hope this makes sense. The fan will be installed between the floor joists, since it is in a basement washroom. On the counter, I've made a mock-up of the location of the floor joist where the fan is going to be installed. On one side, there's a double joist. I have positioned the fan in between the floor joists so I can get a measurement to drill a hole through the rim joist to the exterior of the house. To get started, I'm going to drill a 3/4 inch hole through the rim joist with a spade bit. When you feel you're through the rim joist, which is generally 1.5 inches, stop. If you keep pushing, you're going to run the bit into the exterior brick and ruin it. Here's my favorite masonry drill, which is probably 40 years old. Drill a 3/8 pilot hole through the brick to the exterior. This will give me the exact location so I can drill the rest of the hole from the outside. I was fortunate to have a friend who has a 6-inch drill. This thing is a monster. Very heavy, but does a quick job of drilling the brick. You can either rent one of these, or you can use a smaller masonry bit and drill a series of holes in a circle. Then, use a hammer and chisel to remove the rest of the material. Once you get everything cleaned up, it's a good time to test fit using the vent terminal. Once you're satisfied the opening is good, remove the wood from the rim joist. I have a 2-inch bit and plan to make 4 holes. After that, I can use a sawzall to clean it up. If you don't have a large bit, just like the brick, you can drill a series of small holes in a circle and achieve the same results. Before I forget to tell you, I did put the drywall back on the ceiling inside to keep the dust and dirt from falling into the basement. The plastic edge on the vent terminal was catching the brick. I needed to take off 1/8 or so on that corner. There's nothing worse than looking at a vent that is not level when there are horizontal brick joints close by. I like to drill a 1/8 inch hole to position the vent, then put a 1/8 inch bit in it to keep it from rotating. I will do this for the remaining 3 holes. After, you can remove the vent and drill the proper size holes for your plugs. I find this works very well, and I get a perfect job every time. Now that all the plugs are done, I'm going to check to make sure everything lines up. Once I'm satisfied, I like to put 2 beads of silicone on these vents, one on the inside, and when the job is completed and cleaned up, I will put one on the outside. This way I'm confident I will not have any trouble with water getting into the house. Before I install the fan, I temporarily connected it to make sure that it works. Also, I want to demonstrate how quiet it runs. If you use this damper, always install it in the vertical position. As you can see, in the horizontal position, the top half will fall down and never spring back. The damper that comes with the fan works, but there's a gap on the edges where critters and air can get through. To install the damper, squeeze and attach it to the pin, or if you're removing it, you would do exactly the same thing, squeeze and remove it. Next, the Z-bracket. On the side that I'm installing, you can see that I bent the metal tabs so they line up on the bottom of the floor joist. On the other side, since the drywall is there, I didn't have to lower the tabs, and the Z-bracket just rests on top of the drywall. Before I went any further, I wanted to make sure the fan body fit in. You can see the slots in each of these brackets. These slots are where the screws will go into when securing the fan to the Z-bracket. It's nice to have a template to use to cut out the drywall. It is the exact size you need. There are instructions on the template which are worth reading. Instead of using fiberglass insulation, I felt low expanding foam would work much better. Just make sure all the joints are taped because the foam can, in some cases, penetrate and block the air. I had purchased these telescoping rods to hold up a temporary plastic wall when doing some renovations. They work perfectly to hold up the drywall, especially when you're working by yourself. The electrical connection is straightforward, white to white, black to black, and the ground connected to generally a green wire in the box. Don't forget to use a connector on the box. It is a big mistake by not installing it. The edges of these boxes are sharp. If the edge of the box cuts through the wires, you'll keep blowing the breaker or in a worst case scenario, start a fire. Now you can install the adapter in the ceiling by connecting it to your 6-inch pipe. Use the screws that came with the fan to attach the adapter to the Z-bracket. This is one of the reasons why I like this particular fan. You can remove the fan body without messing around with the vent. The design is well suited for an existing fan retrofit. While in some cases I believe it is possible, some of the times you're going to be in for a little more than what you expected. Not the end of the world, but be prepared to do some drywall repair and painting. After installing the 2 other screws in the Z-bracket, don't forget to put the small machine screw to hold the front of the fan body to the adapter. Start the fan up and check to make sure the backdraft damper is moving freely. You can use the template to protect the fan motor from any finishing such as sanding or painting. Here are a few shots of patching up the walls and ceilings. A lot of holes had to be made to reroute the power wire. I ended up with a junction box where the existing fan was. I could have eliminated it, but it was a lot of extra work. I didn't mind having one box. Maybe I could use it for a motion detector at some point. This project technically was not that hard. It took a lot of time as there was a bunch of little things that needed to be done and some precise measuring, a bit of electrical, drywall repair, painting, and the exterior hole in the brick. It all adds up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and as always, repair it, don't wreck it. Thanks for watching.